Hollywood.
My sister's Little Beaver Scout.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
I love Little Beavers.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. Look at this story. Out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, a Philadelphia man was forced to pay more than $12,000 in child support for another man's daughter and spent 2 years in jail for falling behind on payments. Dauphin County Prosecutor Edward M. Marsico told the Patriot News of Harrisburg that he is examining the case of Walter Andre Sharp, Jr., who has been unable to recover the money even after establishing that he isn't the girl's father. The investigation has no specific targets, Marsico said. Sharp's troubles began in 2001 when he signed for a certified letter addressed to someone named Andre Sharp, the girl's father. The letter ordered Andre Sharp to attend a child support conference in Dauphin County where the girl's mother lived at the time. Walter Sharp, who was already supporting 4 children from a previous marriage, ignored the letter. And a judge ruled he was the father after neither man had showed up. Now, again, this guy is not the father. He just signed for a certified letter. Probably didn't even know what the certified letter was. Have you ever done that? Signed for a letter at your office? Or I get my mail delivered to one of these, like mailboxes, et cetera, where I get sometimes FedExes or UPS. They sign for stuff there. You've signed for other people's stuff before. Imagine if this happened to you. Walter Sharp, it says here, who was already supporting 4 children from a previous marriage, ignored the letter, and a judge ruled he was the father when neither man showed up. The County Family Welfare Agency then began garnishing Walter Sharp's wages from his job at a trash hauling company. He served 4 6-month jail terms for not keeping up with support payments between 2001 and 2005, then lost his job. Petitions he filed for DNA testing were opposed by the court's domestic relations officials and denied by the judge. In May 2007, the paternity order against Walter Sharp was overturned after the girl's mother and grandmother failed to show up to a court hearing. But the judge ruled in October that Walter Sharp was not entitled to compensation. Jesus. Keep in mind, Walter Sharp is not the father. Somebody named Andre Sharp is the father. Says here, Walter Sharp and his attorney, Tabitha Tanner, claim his identity was stolen in 2002 when he met with agency officials and provided identification showing he was not the father. Instead, his personal information was entered into the agency's computer records, he said. Officials in the court's domestic relations office would not respond to the newspaper's questions. They said in court papers that they determined Walter Sharp was the father, quote, after reasonable investigation. Are you kidding me? Says here that Andre Sharp, not the same person, has said he always has supported the girl who is now living with him in Philadelphia and about to graduate high school. So this guy, Walter Sharp, was being forced to send child support payments to a woman who did not even have custody of the kid. The kid was with her father, a guy who just happens to have the same last name. Outrageous. It's just outrageous. The system has gotten out of control. Here in Los Angeles County, it's a total mess. I have read stories in the past about Los Angeles County where the former district attorney here said he really wasn't concerned about whether they had the right guy. They were just concerned about getting what was in the best interest of the child, getting the money to the child. That's all they care about. But you know what? Knowing who the father really is important. It's important so the child knows his background, knows his medical history, It's also important so that the proper person is paying. And it is important that innocent people who did not father children are not paying. Now, I'm wondering if you think we pay enough attention to this. Do you think we pay enough attention to making sure we got the right guy? I mean, is government out of control? Are they completely crazy now? Is the whole thing about taking money from anybody from whom they can get it? You tell me.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. We're talking about a guy in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, who has been jailed repeatedly for not supporting a kid that isn't his, was never his. He's a victim of mistaken identity, and they don't care. Joe on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, I got the same story, man. I'm paying child support for my daughter. I have no problem with that. I get a letter 7 months ago that said, oh, you child support being claimed against you from a lady in Kentucky. We're taking your paycheck. I've never been to Kentucky. I had to hire a lawyer to fight this. 6 months already. Finally, the lady never showed up for another court date. Now, they found the lady. They said, well, it's not your kid, but I spent all this money fighting this. They took my paychecks, and I don't get nothing back. We're sorry. We made a mistake.
Meantime, how much did that cost you?
$3,500. And just lawyer fees alone.
Wow.
And my paycheck, they take $600 out more.
They took $600 total?
No. I pay $1,000 a month on child support between my daughter and this wannabe lady who claimed that I have a kid with me.
Really? Now, is this somebody you never met?
Never met before.
So this is just like when they take your Visa or your MasterCard out of the mailbox. They just stole your identity and used it to claim you were the father of a kid that you knew nothing about.
Yeah, from Kentucky, and I'm like, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I got an attorney. They said, well, they didn't want to listen. They just took the money. Then finally, the lady never showed up to court. The judge threw out. But it's still, I'm out like $5,000 already. What? And they said, we're sorry, we can't do nothing about it. That's ridiculous.
Outrageous. Frank on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Yeah, hey, Tom, this is Frank. I have the same thing happen to me with my unemployment. I had my wages garnished from unemployment from some person that I never met. I had like 6 paychecks taken out, and I had to go all the way down to El Segundo to straighten the matter out. And it was, you know, my name's Frank, but it was another name. Someone's using my Social Security identity, and it was a big mess.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
and nobody cares, do they? I mean, when you try to complain about this.
I told them, hey, this is me. I had to go down there, show my Social Security, my driver's license, my birth certificate. And I had to drive all the way to El Segundo from the San Fernando Valley to straighten this out. And this happened to me 2 times.
Totally amazing.
I mean, you know, this happened to me like 15 years ago, and this happened about 5 years ago. And my ex-wife was looking at me all weird, you know, and it was like, it was a big hassle.
Boy, I could tell. Renee on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
My husband is going through a similar situation. Now, the child support system does not have, the men have no rights in the child support system. It's all about the woman. A woman can go down and say Joe Schmo is the child's father. And the child support system is not set up for where men will have rights.